Yep.
It's, there
Yes.
you go.
Good evening,
Okay.
Bill.
Good evening.
I think this is off, and I'm sorry. I didn't
Mine's
write it
off.
wrong.
Mine's off. Okay.
Okay, it being 4:30, November 20th, 2019, call the regular meeting of the Wareham Housing Authority to order. Please rise, silence your devices, and state with the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the
United States of America,
and
to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, G. Canada, President,
Yes.
Bill Lockwood, President.
John Brown for this.
Ron President, Bob Crowley is President. We also have our administrator, Jackie Dickey, and Bob White from WCTV. Okay, no residents participated. Old business, review and approve the regular minutes of October 23rd, 2019.
Okay. I make a motion that we accept the meeting of October 23rd, 2019 as submitted.
I'll second.
Any further discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
4-0. Okay, now, next item of business is to authorize and sign checks and documents that are adequate supporting documentation,
So
formally
moved.
approved by the administrator. Motion by Bill, seconded by
Second.
Donna. Any further discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
They're here for your review and approval if you want later. Now.
Oh, okay.
Are they signed?
They're all
They're all
signed
signed.
and warrants already signed.
No, I'll take the word for it.
Oh, God.
Already had 3 eyes on that, or 6 eyes, I suppose. Three heads, 6 eyes.
All right, thank you. Okay, next order of business, new business, administrators report.
Vacancies carried forward with 5. We rented 1 in Redwood. 1 will be signed up on Friday, which is 8/23. Then we have the 3 remaining, but it's 4 technically because Friday it's not rented yet. We have 1,305 applications, and in that is split between residents 257 and 1,048. The accounts receivable, we have this quandary with one of our tenants. We have to go back to court. This will be the 3rd time entering into a repayment agreement. He changed jobs, requested that we hold off. They let him do that. So we now will be back December 2nd to get our repayment agreement court ordered.
I just have a question.
Yep,
You know I have a question.
I know. I already know what your question is.
Well,
Go ahead.
it's against the law. If you don't pay your rent,
Yep.
you can't fight it. So
Not,
if this is non-payment,
right,
and I don't care if you're 65 or you're 6, you still, for non-payment of rent, the judges doesn't even have the discretion to give them that, so I don't understand why
They-
this is happening.
then the caveat is in public housing. That they did put a caveat into the bill that says that they would be offered mediation and repayment agreement first.
You know something?
So once you get
I
that
gotta
court
see that
ordered,
somewhere.
I
But why
know,
does that have to be court ordered though? We offer them a remediation and a,
right,
payment
because now it
agreement
becomes
between
mandated,
us and
then
him.
immediately, if he doesn't honor that, we then file a writ, and we get in court very quickly, within 2 weeks, and then they can be evicted.
yeah, but to follow up on what Don is saying, he doesn't pay his rent,
Correct.
so we do the process of entering into an agreement with him. So if he doesn't fulfill the agreement, why can't we then evict him?
Well, you-
Where does it get to the court and
You-
all this
you
stuff?
don't-
We had already sent him a 14-day notice to quit and started this in
Yeah.
September.
And,
Right.
yeah,
That's why this is absurd, and
So that's
they
what I'm
were,
saying, so how does the courts get into it?
because we
because
took
the
them.
lawyer made the agreement, right?
Correct.
Made the agreement, our lawyer, which, in my opinion, he could, she, whatever. You know, I don't think she's moving quick enough.
No, and they bend over backwards for them.
Oh, yeah.
That's what the problem
I-
is. But she should have just said, you didn't pay, you broke your agreement, and you're gone. Get rid of it.
I mean,
They don't recognize an internal agreement.
Who doesn't? But
The-
who brings
the-
him to court?
We brought him to
Yeah,
court.
but if we didn't, we could just evict him, right? Let him take us to court.
No, even if we didn't
No.
have an agreement with him, and we went to court,
No, if we had an agreement with him and he broke it,
even if we had an agreement with him and we went to court,
and we didn't go to court, we didn't have an agreement, we had an agreement with him, he broke it, so we don't need to go to court, is what?
oh, no, that's not true.
no, you can't get him out.
You can't do anything like that.
Yeah.
I wish you could,
Okay, so you gotta evict him, and then the
You-
court's gotta.
you have to
honor
evict
him.
him. but
And the court doesn't honor him. He
Wow.
goes through all this.
No, we
stuff.
have to go, the problem is, in this particular
she's saying
case,
public housing is different.
is 3 times, we've had 3 different court dates. Normally, we get in there and we have a court order agreement within 1 time. This particular case, because there's some extenuating circumstances, he has been allowed, which to me is ridiculous, because they can't come to a point where what his income is in order to set a repayment agreement. So now it's been settled, we go December 2nd, there will be a court-ordered agreement, which will be quite large every month for him to repay back.
So what was the hangup? He got a new job and he wanted to rework the numbers
Yes,
because of the new,
but he only didn't have a pay stub.
Yeah, but he
in
paid-
1,700 in the first week of November, and they are going to, he is working with tenant preservation right now, which is
is
another one.
is that not reflected?
It's not
in here?
reflected on here, the 1,700.
No, it is not,
So
but
17
Oh,
to
so-
22.
right, I put it in over there because they paid that the first 2 weeks of November.
Okay, so his delinquency is in 3773.
No, it is not.
Okay, minus 1,700.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
That's a lot better.
That's more palatable. He's still.
It's back to where it was, 27, around 27th to 27th.
Well, at least he
Yeah.
paid his,
Yeah.
Right.
his, current.
Well, at least that tells you possibly he can afford it.
Oh, absolutely, and I think what really boosted him there was tenant preservation. Because she went in there and said, I had already told him this, she went in with gunfire, like, this is your last, you're gonna be evicted, it's gonna be on your record, it goes on their credit record, they can't, no private person rents without going to the credit record anymore.
Yeah.
And they don't want you, period. And so she was like, you should be ashamed of yourself. You should have had, you have enough money to pay for this.
What about another housing authority? Would they have to take this guy?
Well, no, if he gets evicted.
Not if he gets evicted.
Okay.
Now, my question to you is, now, doesn't he have the right, if he loses his job, to come see you right away and you can readjust his rent?
Absolutely.
Why didn't he do that?
Good question.
Why didn't he just come in and, because, you
That's a
can, you can
huge
adjust his
problem.
rent
Yep.
right away.
Immediately, we are required by
And
law
Did we
to
offer,
adjust it.
did we offer to do
I
that?
tell them every single time I bang my head against the wall.
Oh, I'm sure. See, that's,
And you know what,
That's
Donna,
why
you understand this more than anybody. You don't have time to chase them. It's your responsibility, it's your rent.
Yeah.
Now you're gonna owe
Yeah.
more,
yep,
because we don't get to deduct that.
Yeah.
And I told them I'm not.
yeah,
We'll start, when you give me your pay stubs, the first week of November, but we're not going back to October 1st when you didn't.
no.
I'm not gonna do that because he did his responsibility and he knows better to come in.
He owes what he owes.
How long has he been here?
He owes what he owes, you go forward on the others that
Yes.
we tell.
1 year.
Oh, 1 year?
This is why it's horrendous.
That's not good.
That's not a
I
good
think
thing.
they had in their mindset, but I do have to say, with him coming in, there's more money coming in this week.
Mhm.
I think something, I think the mindset in the unit, not the whole family, one particular person had this idea that it's public housing, it's free.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I'm sure you've already done this, but I would, you know, just sit down and say, hey, look, I'm doing my job. Your job is, if your income change, your job is to tell us right away.
And I
And we can make an
reiterated
adjustment
that.
for you.
The mediator remitted that,
Yeah.
the lawyer, my lawyer remitted that, and TPP, which was kind of like
Okay.
the frosting on that cake.
All right, that's.
Yeah,
that's
so
all
we,
I-
other than that,
So that's the
we're
third-
moving
that's the
forward.
third- That's the third one.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
yeah.
not the first one.
No.
Yeah, the first one on the list also had a problem this month, but I said, that's it. We had an agreement, we're gonna go to court and get a court order agreement. Because if they don't pay, then we do have a evict, but at the same time, I want my money too.
Yeah,
And when you have a court order repayment agreement, you seem to get it quicker. They're
Yeah.
not gonna fuddy it around. But that particular person's family reached out to me. They have somewhat financially able to family member that is going to write is going to give us money for that.
oh, okay,
Yeah, so most of that will be worked on and
okay.
paid through the
Yeah,
family member.
that
That's not my
doesn't
friend,
have
is
to
it?
be done.
No, that person they've been faithful with their agreements.
But if
Good,
that
okay.
And matter of fact, I think the family said after the first of the year, they're gonna write a check for the remaining balance.
Good.
Yeah, well,
And
that's
that
what
will
they
be
do,
done.
because if they don't, we're back with square one.
No, we're not gonna ever go back to square one. We're
I
down
mean, if
game.
they don't,
If they don't, they're leaving. But I mean, this particular, the one that's referred to the second one down, family contacted me and said, geez, wow, look at where we are from where we came. Thank you for the paperwork. I think I may just write a check in January. And
Good.
Now, which one is that? The
that's the
first
second
one?
one down.
The
First
second
one, the family's gonna pay money towards, second one, the family's gonna
Another
try to
family.
wipe out that debt.
Another
Good.
family.
Good.
Yeah,
Okay.
Well, let's hope they do, because they're talking $8,000 there.
and
What's
the
$1,760?
F-54 pays their court-ordered agreement. They don't pay their rent anymore, it's done through a rep payee.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
they are court-ordered rep payee until their balance due is paid off.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so that's a good way to go.
Can I ask you about the vacancies too? Could you?
Yep.
Um, how come we didn't, we didn't have anybody vacate this past month, according to this, right?
No,
How come we still, I know we got one rented, but why is the time frame? Why haven't we rented anymore?
because we lay our own floors now, and it takes a good amount, it's fiscally more feasible for us to lay our own floors, but manpower, it takes 2 days, 2 full days with 2 men. Then we had leaves to do one day at Redwood. We are preparing for our facilities assessment, which is tomorrow. We are,
Under the circumstances and with the crisis, the housing crisis, wouldn't it be better off to just sub it out and get these all caught up and then, I mean, if you can do it, you can do it. If you can't, you can't, you know? Don't push yourself, don't push your staff or push
It is,
yourself.
believe it or not, Donna,
What?
when it comes to the flooring, we had a main floor guy who was our local guy, and he is no longer in business. And the only other one, we did try him out once. It was a lot of, he has some sort of negative connotation to the housing authority. So I've
You
had,
told us that last
right.
month.
yeah, so
But,
we are finding it difficult to find people that, you know, like, we've gotten one part of it done, it's the other part, and then when we get in there to do the nitty gritty, it's, you know, yeah, yeah, I
Okay,
don't have an
let me
answer for you.
just-
Yeah.
Let me just
Yeah.
get to the gist of it. So we got 4 vacancies, and follow up from what Donna's saying. We're trying to minimize the vacancy loss by having these units
Yep,
vacant for a long time. So these haven't been, we ready to fill them, and we got 4 people ready to go on these? And
well, with the new champ system, I'm probably with one, the other 3 are filled.
Okay, so.
I'm
that's-
having one problem because of the way we have to follow champ.
Okay,
Okay.
but so we'll still try to expedite
so the thing-
champ or
so
not champ, go around.
if
No,
nobody,
we cannot go around champ,
We
So-
gotta do something, because
that's
let's
what,
not have a lot of vacancy days because of champ.
Otherwise, we'll call up Champ.
Well, no, what I did the last time is I did work around Champ. I put somebody in there and told them that you have to fix this to reflect
Yeah,
that.
because we can't have a unit open for, I don't know how long, months,
Right.
because.
No, not when you've got all these people on the list.
Technical,
No,
we got a list. We can do it.
Yeah,
Just tell them they'll have to give us a waiver because they can't fill it with the Champ list. Is their answer if Champ's not working, you leave it vacant? Is that the answer?
no, they're finding that that's a little bit of a problem.
I
for
understand
everybody.
that, but
So
the
they're
answer
trying to
to-
adjust.
The answer to, while they're trying to adjust, does that mean leave the units vacant?
I cannot speak for DHCD.
No, so we have to speak for ourselves. They
Right.
don't tell us. We are the board, we are the Wareham Housing
Right,
Authority,
but they.
not them.
Right.
When, if they wanna do but, let them but to us, not to you. Say, we have a vacancy, we need the money, you don't give us a subsidy, we need to fill the vacancy. We
Okay.
need the rent.
All right.
Thank you very much. When you fix it, we'll go back to Champ.
I'm hoping by
If
the
you
time
can't,
that
you let
unit
me
is
do that.
ready, which will be shortly, that this problem will be
Yeah.
resolved and we'll be able to be full in compliance with
Okay,
Champ.
right, but anyway, how about that? Is
And I would
it a
suggest-
long length of time
yeah.
for these vacancies?
It is, lately it has been.
It has been because there's so many of
But, you know, even, you know, I would be open to overtime or whatever to get these units ready. I don't know how the rest of the board feels. I
Yeah,
mean,
but that's the other thing. I mean, I don't know if it's that or it's the Champ people. You
okay,
know, the other housing authorities going through the same stuff with this
Yes.
Champ
and they
stuff?
do overtime.
Yeah. Well, the reason with the overtime again is we don't have the money. We're
Yeah.
running a tight ship
yeah,
here.
yeah.
So we gotta do the best we can.
The cost of outside labor versus the revenue and rent may be a washing.
Yeah, I don't know, yeah, we don't make enough to.
Yeah, if it's a two-day project for us or a two-day project for an outside contractor, by the time we pay a crew of two for 2 days, that's more than we're gonna get for that month of rent, so.
Yeah.
Oh, I agree with you there, but the thing is,
And
It's such
so
a
it's
crisis for housing.
Well, yeah, it's subsidized. I mean, it's filling the
Yeah,
units.
yeah, exactly.
Filling the need.
Yeah.
And now I'm gonna have to apologize and leave.
Okay, anyway, so
Well, here's the question.
you know what you're
Because
doing.
When she hires-
although I had scheduled another meeting.
Okay.
That's,
When you
Not counting
hire
on the 4:30 start.
the outside contractor, you then have to pay the higher rate. You
we have to pay
send them
their,
out.
and generally it's above, we have to pay the
I sure
security.
do.
Oh, it was
Pleasure as always.
fun.
Have a good
Thank you,
Thanksgiving.
Deb.
Thank you.
Anyway, so
Um,
she knows,
Okay.
she's gonna get, she's
Okay.
on top of it. She's just-
I guess to me, the numbers, having your in-house staff do it might cost you a little more,
No,
but in pay.
Oh,
But
yeah.
it seems to me it would be less expensive than hiring an outside contractor.
right. Let me give you an example, for this unit C that was destroyed, that we had to replace the whole floor. That cost us $2,200 from outside contractor. When we sat down and I said, I wanna figure this out, because it was about $500 more than our last guy, who's no longer in business, but he retired out, he didn't flunk out. We figured out it would be it was $900 in labor for us and $500 worth of materials, so it was $1,400 as opposed to $2,200. That's what we're missed, that $800 we saved, we would have saved. But we're trying, C unit is filled, so that's, we needed to get it done. And he held us up this contractor held us up with time. So that was with that unit, and plus the whole thing was destroyed. And we wanted to replace the tub,
Yeah.
'Cause it was a
It just
tub in
seems
a
to me, if you
handicap
did
unit.
the numbers out with the extra pay and taxes, whatever you have to pay for them, it can't be more, it must be still
less
less.
Yeah.
And these guys get a few more hours pay.
Less than what?
than what we pay.
Pay the outside contractor.
Yeah,
Having your own people do it in-house.
true.
Okay, you pay a little more in taxes,
Yeah, right,
you know,
right.
there are
But
other
the question-
expenses,
the other
but
end
I
is-
still think it must be cheaper than
The other
hiring.
end that what Bill's bringing up is it cheaper than the lost rent?
Well,
What's the
Well, it wouldn't
difference?
be if you had your in-house guy doing it.
it depends
We
on
don't
how,
know.
but it
We
doesn't,
don't know.
depends on how much a person's gonna be paying for rent too. I mean,
Yeah, that's what I mean,
Yeah.
that's what
But I
I mean,
mean-
so we don't know.
the rent, if the guy comes in and is paying $12 a month, then it's not worth getting it ready for, in a hurry. Then it'll go somewhere else. Anyway,
Okay, so maintenance work orders, we opened the month with 6, we had 39 during the, and we're at 6 as well. And 4 other vacancy, 1 is scheduled preventative maintenance, and one unfortunately is bed bugs.
Another one? Is that a new one?
Yeah, a new one, yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Well, they get
Is it
around.
close to the other?
85% of public buildings from the professionals tell me
Oh, yeah.
that they're bed bugs in them.
Sure.
So you just can't sit on any cloth.
Oh, okay,
Wood, leather, we treat our stuff here
okay.
all the time, so, in our community rooms, not that, we did not put in the application for tenant assistance, I wanted the board to know. We need to do more investigating as to what level of what is provided, and if they allow different vendors to help with the tenant's needs, which they were not, my impression was. So that, I just don't think that's offering the best services for the tenants.
Is that?
We don't need another voice for them to.
Is that a resident service coordinator?
Yes, yeah.
Oh, no, you don't. I agree with you.
We are up with our contract with Pitney Bowes, 12/31/2019. I did some research. We have Neopost versus Pitney Bowes. Neopost came in $10 a quarter less than Pitney Bowes. And there are two main ways of putting postage on. One is through a credit card and the other one is through prepay. Pitney Bowes charges $5.99 to $8.99 on prepay and $25.99 on a credit card. So those are the fees. Neopost pays nothing if you prepay it, and there's a small $5 to $10 fee if you use their credit card. So we never used the credit card after, the first year I was here, I didn't, after researching it, and so I never pay the credit card amount. It's ridiculous when we could prepay it. So I feel like it's time for us to make a break with Pitney Bowes, Neopost. I've talked to other housing authorities that use Neopost, and I think that that's the way to go.
Okay.
Then the maintenance policy procedure manual, I was looking for a vote last, I don't know if you need any more time to review.
yeah, we'll put it off, we haven't looked at it.
Okay.
Have you seen it?
No.
No, okay.
Okay.
Is it online or?
No, I'll send it off to you folks.
Okay.
Completed and sent a response to the letter, budget, subsidy, and other matters from DHCD. Spoke to them at Mass Now on Monday, and they had said they never received it.
Oh, for crying
And I
out
have
loud. This is
I
ridiculous.
have the email that was, then wait a minute, so I said, what do you mean? I sent it, 3+ weeks ago before I went on vacation, and expected that you
They
would
were
probably
looking
have a
for it.
response.
They
So
called
they-
you looking for it
they-
sometimes.
Then they, informed me that they will look for it when they get back into the office, and this morning I got an email stating they found it. So I just wanna let you know that they, and they told me they will respond after they review. They also sent me a letter, an email requesting, they have tenant surveys going out, and, they wanted to know why all of the unit 25s in 34 Church Ave, 667-34 Church Ave didn't respond, all came back. And I informed them that there are no unit 25s in Redwood, and that, I'm like, they have two main ways to look at our units online. They have a vacancy ledger, which is pretty accurate, and they have a CIP, which is pretty accurate, and she then comes back with this big excuse that it was CIP that made the mistake, but I mean, it was foolish. It was embarrassing and foolish that they didn't even double check. So I just wanted to let you know that that's what we're up against.
That's my point
I know,
on everything. We send them the letter, it says they'll get back to us when they review.
yeah,
That could be 6 months from now.
Yep.
We
and I'm not gonna let them go
we
6
can't fill
months.
a unit because of
Right.
champs,
Right,
that's them. We
right,
got this problem because of them, that's them. So we need to do what we need to do. And they come down and do a performance evaluation, say you're not using champs. So
Yeah.
using champs leaves us vacancies and stuff like that. So we need to do what we need to do and let them send us a little letter saying,
Okay.
you didn't do
I
that.
have no
You
trouble
shouldn't
with
do
that.
'Cause
We have a
you
perfect
can't let them
system,
run us into the ground.
you know, the
How
next,
expensive is it to send a letter with return, you pay?
well,
Send it
if
response.
I
It
didn't,
wouldn't matter.
let me,
It still wouldn't matter.
it wouldn't matter.
All you'd know is that they received it.
Right.
They got it in there.
The
But
person
they
in
don't
They
the
just
deal
don't know where in the world it is.
That's what they say. It's on somebody's desk and they just don't do it. They're walking around like this all day long. Look at me, I'm unemployed, you know? Anyway, this has been 60 years like this with these people.
I don't just,
60
I've
years.
worked with the agencies, I know that this, out of 7, you'll get 2 that work.
None like this one. This is the worst.
the new business
This should be in
liability,
business.
so, the new business liability and crime insurance is out and due November. They are increasing to 126 per unit, which represents a 15% increase from last year of 110 a unit. So, it's about
The increase is 110?
No,
No.
15%.
15%,
to
110,
110,
it's going to 126 from 110,
From 110.
$16 a unit.
13,000 a year or something.
Yeah, it's up there. Monday,
So we can leave our units vacant, so because champs won't let us, but we need
Yeah.
another $16 a month to pay.
Yeah.
only, went on Monday to Mass Narrow, I didn't go on Tuesday. The DHCD, a new initiative released is the Health and Safety Initiative. They did up to $50,000 per housing authority. I'm going to put in the request, it's in our CIP, for new fire alarm panel for Redwood.
Mhm.
Also, initially, whatever monies were left over, we'd like to do a new walkway in front of Building 2. We did complete the drain.
Building to where?
Building Agawam Village Unit
Oh,
2,
okay.
Building 2. We did complete a new drainage system out there, and we have been watching every rainstorm to see the drainage, and it has been remediated as far as the big puddles, no more big puddles, but the actual walkway is sunken in, and it would be better if we could provide a newer, higher walkway, because it would then alleviate any puddling on that. There's not big puddles like it was, I mean, it was ankle deep, and they weren't able to get out of the unit until that rain subsided.
This is the one you've been talking about for a
Yeah,
couple of
but we
months.
finished the drainage, it does look really good, we just now need new walkway over there, and that will, any other last remaining things. Then they, so this is a new health and safety initiative, up to $50,000, and they want it completed by June 30th, 2020. They gave new and continuing discussion on the CHAMP updates that they're providing. They're trying to make it more time effective to alleviate this horrific problem they are having. They're installing forms that will be helpful during the initial priority and preference screening. And there will be a new annual plan, but mainly it's just a compilation of existing documents that they already have on file. They want us to keep a book, so it's not a problem. I will be on vacation from 12/10 to 12/18, and I will be out of area, gone to my son's graduation from college.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much, and that concludes my administrator's report.
Okay, infrastructure.
Do we want to do a motion first, or do we do it afterwards? I don't remember.
I make a motion that we accept the administrator's report as given.
I'll
Seconded by Jean, for the discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
3-0.
Aye.
Okay, we do need to have a meeting. I'm waiting for a document back from Gap Engineering, and then we will have that meeting. I need to go forward on preparing the bid docs. Underfloor plumbing, I'm still preparing the documents. I will have them done hopefully by the first of the year.
So can you call Gap and tell them?
Yes, I
Waiting
emailed
for
them.
2 months now.
Yeah, I emailed them.
All right.
CDBG roofs, in the FY18 grant, DHCD put in a caveat that any money through CDBG that goes to local housing authorities through the LHA DHCD debacle now has to be completely vetted out from DHCD with all appropriate documents. Initially, we just had to send the project to them and they signed off of it. Now they want to have complete oversight over that. So Peter Sanborn was not, was aware, but was not fully aware. issued a letter, sent, we have to then hurry to complete all of the prepared docs, and they are off headed toward DHCD within the next week or two, and then they have 45 days from that chance to work on that.
So, thanks,
You
happy
know, I
Thanksgiving.
hand deliver them on his way home.
Happy
give
Thanksgiving,
him a sign
happy
for it.
Christmas, and happy New Year.
Yeah.
I mean, does he have
Yeah.
so much time to spend the money? He could roll.
Yeah, he said that he will bring it to them.
Okay.
He will not, you
Yeah.
know, he issued a mea culpa to them because I'm like, every time you turn around, they come back with something new, and they got this new girl who's our representative, and I asked her, I'm like, why, what is this, a new thing you're pulling out of your hat? And
It's so efficient that they can do all these extra things.
right, because they have so many people on their staff.
It's
and
another
that's-
thing that's gonna get
Yeah.
bogged down now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's something I saw in the things that you sent that you responded to regarding your, the way your salary is done, or how was it?
Yeah.
Why is that still an issue?
Oh, yeah, that was the letter.
That's
because
how
that-
it was back and forth.
because-
That was that letter
yeah.
she wrote to,
Yeah,
that they said they
With
can't
Bill
find.
Joy.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
that's
that was
right.
that
That
legal
was in
letter.
there.
But doesn't Joy need to,
Joy
It
gave
should
me-
be
Did he
over the
provide
damn
it? We
50
needed
times.
that?
One guy comes in and says,
So
no,
he's
one
done his
person
share
comes in
of
and says,
work.
okay, next one comes in
Yeah,
and
it
says,
seems
no.
like ever since I've
I
been
mean,
on the
they
housing
use
authority,
that.
we've been dealing with
I
this.
know, you're
We
right.
have been dealing with this
It's
for a long
before
time.
you,
everything with them is a forever.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
I did get in touch with Bruce Bradley when it comes to the steps, the formula funding, concrete steps. He's coming next week to give us a quote. And the deferred maintenance, we're still working on the rugs and the windows for the interior hallways, finished painting the units that haven't been painted, and design construction on the Sandwich Road and handrails at the end of the walkway between buildings 2 and 4 in the other room. And that is my infrastructure report.
Make a motion that we accept it.
Seconded.
I did provide,
Further discussion, all in favor? Okay.
Aye.
I did provide, this is the data that's that the state compiled from the whippersnappers at Harvard University on this CHAMP system they created for us. So I put in there applicants, how many are on the list, currently on the list, how many were housed.
What's that, statewide?
Statewide, this new
Yeah.
CHAMP system. And it, gives some interesting data when it talks to local preference. So they are finding that,
2,000 out of 700, oh, God.
yeah, I know.
So instead of calling it the CHIP system, they should call it the loser system.
The CHUMP system.
Yeah, it's not the CHIP.
And then they have the veterans preference data.
So we send this to Elizabeth Warren. I mean, these
No,
people,
we'll send
they
it-
want to bring in more immigrants. We can't even house the people we have here. This is ridiculous.
Well, they'll get a priority.
They
Yeah.
have to,
I'm sorry I brought it up, but it's just crazy.
that's, they want to, Governor, I don't know if Governor Baker signed the bill today. for the-
We got a lot of money to do stuff to.
It is.
That's why I said to them, why, if we get $50,000, why don't you just give us the $50,000 and say, we want you to use this by June 30th, 2020,
Yeah.
and you need to only use it on health and safety initiatives,
Yeah.
write your procurement, make sure ARCAT is involved.
Yeah, and
Good
we'll-
luck.
and we'll tell them.
Why do we have to go through jumping a hoop and a
We'll
hoop
tell
and a
them
hoop and a hoop?
what the item is, and they'll see if it's qualified and it fits in, and then they'll go. Now they're gonna bog it all down,
Here,
and it will, June 30th will come and go, and it won't be spent.
Now,
because these are all of the attachments when you open up. This is all, most of these are forms we have to fill out for this $50,000. And I'm like, you gave us a CIP, we have to go to a class for CIP webinar within the next 2 weeks. You gotta go to a class on the new CHAMP upgrades, and there's 7 of them. Then you gotta get this, it's gotta get in right away. Hey, by the way, you have to have your new CIP for FY 2021 done by February 1st now, because it's gotta be approved by the board in February, because we've got a new system and we've gotta get going.
It's because they've taken their sweet time about getting it up and running, that's why.
Everything.
And then
Now
here's,
they want you to rush.
hurry up and wait.
and I'm like, what are you doing for those people that are, that want to staff people? How are we to, you know, complete and still function, because people come through the door, and get the recertifications done and get, oh, well, you know, you didn't put that application in quick enough. They want all applications within 10 business days, 2 weeks, which if you got a 7 to 10 year waiting list, a month is not gonna make a big difference.
No.
But they were like, well, they could be emergencies and they could be a priority number one.
They got
So
all
then,
that got, but they don't do it. Oh,
Here.
here's my thing that I,
This
town
is-
clerk, I skipped sworn in.
could you give that to Donna? That's the maintenance plan.
Oh, okay,
Okay,
Great,
I
thanks.
did give one last.
Thank you, dear.
Maybe two.
okay,
Do you want one again?
I,
I'll give you.
No, I've got one, if you gave it to me,
Yeah.
it's on my desk.
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn then.
So, go ahead,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Have a good Thanksgiving, good,
Yeah.
good Christmas, good New Year's,
We'll be back before.
4th of July.
Christmas.
We'll be back before
Memorial
Christmas.
Day.
That's right, you put it December 19th, is
Just
it?
put on the
Yeah.
board, to be continued.
Are you gonna be here? That's what I wanted to know. Is everybody gonna be around the day before Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
I can
Oh,
get
yeah.
them on Tuesday, done, the checks, but we're gonna have the
You
MRVP.
think,
I know it.
I'm gonna be at the daycare,
Yeah.
okay?
That's- Yeah.
Because my daughter-in-law's still in Hawaii. My two sons and their
Nice.
significant others and his wife, one's celebrating the 25th wedding anniversary, and the other one's
Nice.
just, he's celebrating his 50th
The
birthday.
significant
Nice.
other, or do they get that mixed up?
Well, the youngest one that just turned 50, he's with his ladies.